Elena. It's Miss Chiarella. I read your essay, and there's so many wonderful qualities in it. Um, I love, of course, the title, and I scrolled through your all the different photographs, and they definitely capture the sense of empty streets. Um, and that's great. I particularly like the one of the bus going by with the little billboard here, "Staying home saves lives." I thought that was really effective, and one that actually COVID-19 info prevention. I thought that was really gave a sense of the time, really documenting this particular time in history. So those are all great. I just wanted to give you two big ideas for revision that I would like you to work on. So the first one is when I look through these first photographs, this one, this one, and this one, and this one also, they feel very much the same. This one here, um, and this one here, you say that the stores are empty. It would be better for you to have actually a close-up. If I look under awnings just to see closed and empty stores, I think the better photograph would be a close-up of an empty store with a closed sign, as opposed to a street that is very similar to this. Like, really look at the words you're saying here and make the photo kind of bring it more alive for you. So that's one big thing. Here, um, this is, I guess this one is fine, right? I look onto the street, I see empty sidewalks. Usually people be cramming through a crowd of people to get to school or work, but not today. You could think of some other photograph you might take. It might be you're talking about people going to work or school. Maybe, the photograph that fits this more would be a photograph of like a subway station or the front of a school that's closed, something that actually really holds the details that your text wants to hold. You really want to make your photographs hold that. So again, these photographs are cool but very similar. These two here hold something different, but the others seem to say hold a lot of the same information. So one thing you'll want to do is go out and look again and try to get some diversity in the actual photograph. So you're documenting different parts of this experience instead of having the photographs document a part of the experience that feels like very similar. The next thing I would like you to think about is I notice you're trying to use some repetition here, which is very cool. I look out onto the street, I look under, I look at, I look at, I look at, um, and then you break the pattern at the end. So what I want you to think about here is, while repetition is a great way to write an essay, please look at my essay and look at the way I used repetition. I did use repetition, but not always at the beginning of a sentence. So think about where, if you're going to use repetition, which I would like you to try it, since this is something you tried, I'd like you to try it and figure out how to use it more, powerfully. Where else in a sentence, besides just starting a sentence with a repetition, could you put repetition? That's one thing. And the other thing is, what other words besides I look can you repeat? Like maybe even empty streets. You find a way to repeat empty streets, since you're really showing empty streets, although you're going to revise these photographs because they're very similar. What other words can you repeat? Maybe it's empty streets, and you could have to think about what else you would want it to be. But the other part of that is really when you're using repetition, like I said, using it at the beginning of a sentence, in this case, is not necessarily bringing through the feeling that I think that you want. You want your repetition to help your reader and your viewer understand something big. You're repeating it because you want them to feel and see something. So think about what you what the words are that you want to repeat. And then when you're structuring each sentence to go with the photographs, don't always put the repetition at the beginning. Find other places. Look at my essay, because that's what I intentionally did, is I put the repetition. I think it was something about from a distance, and I used the word distance repetitively. So those are the big things that I'd like for you to work on, the revision work. I'd like for you to look at the photographs, see what kind of photographs you can take that have a sense of diversity in the experience that you're trying to get your viewer to feel and see and understand. And then your use of repetition. How else can you use repetition? What different words can you repeat? And then where can you structure them in a sentence? And what I would like you to do is not say, well, you know what, maybe I'll just change it completely. I would like you to take my advice so that I can see how you're understanding the ideas that I'm trying to bring forth to you, and that you can actually, understand them and then try them, even if it feels hard. I really, I'm going to look for that. Okay, so hopefully this will help you quite a bit, and we will talk. I will look at your revision, and we'll talk to get a sense of where to go next. Okay, nice job.